sip and converse. Let's sip and converse.
Let's talk about
Sip and converse.
And as we were talking about, core values person, we would talk about Nikes. Oh, welcome back, y'all. We had a great conversation while you were gone, but we were talking about branding and the core values, how sometimes companies shift their values that affect their bottom line.
Yeah.
So,
or they shift their behavior that went against the value that they talked about.
so talk about that. I was thinking switching values, but you mentioned behavior.
Yeah.
Unpack that.
Yeah. A value is only a value if it aligns with behavior. If I say, yeah, my core values is integrity, but I'm fudging over here on stuff at work, and I'm fudging over here, and I told my wife a little fib, and there's two types of decision makers. There's situational decision makers and principal decision makers. What's the difference? Principal decision makers will decide and act based on what's right, no matter how they feel.
Yeah.
And what's right will often be codified in their stated core values, if they're people of faith,
Yeah.
in what God's word says,
Mm-hmm.
or their religious text, in their moral code. A situational decision maker makes decisions based on what avoids conflict and what avoids discomfort. Think about that word comfort again. Yeah, that word comfort. And so here's how you can tell if it's a principle, if you're a principal decision maker. If adhering to your decision costs you time, money, and energy, or friendship, but you do it anyway, that's a principle.
Yeah.
That's the money test. If it's going to cost you money to adhere to your values and you still do it, that's a real value.
Yeah.
But if it's like, well, this one time, then yours. And let me ask you this, Larry. You've been a business owner for a lot of years. You're a coach. What happened? In which decision maker is more likely to engender trust in the corporate space or even at home?
Oh, definitely the principal. Being that, because now, whether you're leading a team, you're running a business, you're dealing with clients, they know that regardless of what the situation is, this is who, I may not agree with it,
Yeah.
but they're going to always make this decision, or you begin to have that pattern of a solid decision maker.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm cool with DJ, and because I'm cool with DJ, I'm going to give DJ a discount.
Mm-hmm.
But this person might, when the price of the product changes based off who walk in the room, your situation.
Yeah.
But if the price is the price and your ruling, I don't mean to use the word ruling, but your decision is the decision no matter who is in the room. My sisters used to mention me, Coach, you're going to laugh at this. My sisters used to say my parents were, my dad was a situational disciplinary. Meaning, because I was the son, I got to go and hang out. I could come home later. But because they were daughters, they had to be home at a certain time of curfew. So, and now that you think back on it, yeah, it was a situational disciplinary. Because how can the boy get to hang out longer than the girls? But then when you think about the core values, he was looking out for his daughters. His daughters didn't need to be in the street
Right.
after a certain job. So that was always funny to me when you think about situational and principle. Because the principle would have been, if it's a curfew for the house, it's a curfew for the house. It's 10:30 is the cutoff. It's 10:30 for you. Not I get 11:30 because I'm the male.
So Mr. Williams saying, that's my boy.
That's my boy. Well, I'd reframe that, because if the core value is, let's say you have a core value in a home that is around our, we have discipline and respect in our relationships. How discipline and respect is administered to you may be different than someone else based on who you are. Okay, it's possible. And listen, this is what it looks like. The boys are different because they can protect themselves, and he's older, and with the girls, we're gonna do this. And I think as long as it's clear and there's no hidden agendas, defined, it's clearly defined. And this is why, because if we have respect in our relationships, we have discipline, we have safety. And as dad, this is the way I think we should administer this. And then you're the same all the time.
Gotcha. So, Coach, listen to that part there. It lets me know that leadership is not a one size fit all.
Yes.
Wow.
Correct. You know, the core values that you have will be revealed rather, during stress.
Yeah.
When you're in pain.
Yeah.
When there's tension and stretching. That's when what you really believe will be revealed. And a lot of people think, well, listen, I want to live a pain-free existence. Well, you're going to have a growth-free existence. All growth happens as a result of some kind of pain. And your values will be revealed during those pain times, if that makes sense. And when that happens, then you confront yourself and say, okay, am I going to make a principled decision and do what I know to be is right, or am I going to take the easy way out? And it helps to have somebody that you are accountable with that can help keep you on track, whether it's your spouse or a close friend, a colleague, or coach. Okay.
I apologize for trying to cut you off, because I wanted to make that point. You said, being pain free. It's impossible for us to spend this time on earth, a whole time on earth, and being pain free. It's not going to happen. No one is going to escape that. Like Jesus corrected it.
Right. Pain's necessary for you to grow. Yes. Think of it. You go to the gym. If you never are in any kind of pain or discomfort, you ain't getting stronger.
No.
If you take a class and it's so easy breezy, did nothing stressed you out at all to learn something new, or you're not growing. Growth comes through the window of pain. And as like I said, it's during those painful times that your values will be revealed, and understand that life isn't pain-free, but it should be value-driven.
Yes.
And if you do that, then you're on a path towards being successful. If you don't know what your values are, like I said earlier, it's value of the week, flavor of the month.
Yeah.
And who wants to follow that person?
True.
I think, I was just recently married. Okay. To the most incredible woman in the world. Congratulations. I should be saying that about their spouses. And I've got 3 adult bonus kids who are all amazing. And in terms of leadership in my family, I know that my family is looking to me to have stated values and to live them out.
Yes.
And these should be values that promote health and the well-being of not only myself, but everybody who's connected with me. And so it's a strong responsibility to look in the mirror and say, okay, are you operating with integrity? Are your actions lining up with your values? Oh. And if I ask someone, and I think maybe towards the end of the podcast, I can offer a couple tips. Yeah, sure. Maybe ask someone, hey, what are your 5 core values? Well, you got them. Because they're reflected in how you live, how you look, what your bank account looks like, the quality of your relationships. But then you're just kind of flowing, going with the flow.
Yeah.
Instead of being the architect of your own future. And so if I say, hey, what are your top 3 or 4 core values? What are your 5 core values? I got 7 of them. You should be able to say, oh, tip, 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 tip. Odds are a person who can do that has a clear compass. a clear direction of where they're going.
Absolutely.
And it's easier to line up behind somebody who's in line with something.
Because if you said people can run off their core values. If a person, like you said, may not have their core values mapped out, because everybody has them. They either define or just nilly-willy. Like we say when we got goals, if you don't write them down, they're just wishes. So you got values that are not written down. You wishy-washy, but with the flow of the wind. What would be some steps a person could take to begin to map out their core values?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. There's a lot of exercises you can do, self-study. You can go to one of the AIs and ask, how do I do this? There's a lot that's been written. Something that I've done that I teach my clients, and it's pretty straightforward. Go online and download 100 core values, right? And just get a list. And then put a check mark next to the ones that speak to you, that you believe, yeah, that's a principle of mine. That's a principle of mine. Put a little check mark, 15 or 20, and put it down and wait a couple days. Come back and look at those 15 or 20 and say, what are my top 5 to 7? No more than 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at that, say, okay, these are my top 5. Let me define what this is and what is the behavior that lines up. Like my core values, one is spiritual growth, physical vitality, freedom, leadership, impacting people, loyalty, and competence. Those are my non-negotiables.
Gotcha.
And so when I make decisions, when I look in the mirror, when I evaluate, when we're going through tough times, everybody goes through tough times. When I want to see how well I'm doing, or where do I need to measure up? Then I look at my core values. I write them down on my board every week, so to remind myself and say, okay, what behavior lines up on spiritual growth for me? Did I do that? What behavioral? If I say physical vitality is a core value, DJ, and I eat like crap, and I'm underhydrated, and I'm not sleeping well, I do 0 exercise, and I might as well take that off the list, or change my behavior.
Absolutely.
What will cause me to change my behavior? A compelling why. Make sense?
Yes.
So your core values do a number of things. One, when you have them written out, and you begin to define what those are, and then get an accountability with your spouse, with a partner, running buddy, with somebody else who's in a personal growth journey. If you have a coach, with a coach or a mentor. And core values do a number of different things. And I talk about pain and storms and all that. If you think of a ship, I know we're Army guys in here. We may have some Navy and Coast Guard thing. You think of a ship, the ship has weights in the bottom. It's called ballast. And when when the waves are hitting, what the ballast does, it keeps the ship from turning over, right? It provides stability. Your core values provide stability in the storms.
That's good.
Because the storms hit above the waveline, the wave line, right? Right. The storm doesn't hit underneath the water. The storms hit up here, and the ballast keeps it from tipping over. Hey, in this house, we don't panic, we pray. Hey, in this house, failure isn't final. Failure is a learning experience. And those core values keep you stable. But if you don't know what they are, it's hard. Another thing core values do, it provides a glue. Where we talked about locker rooms. Right. When we all believe and buy into the same things, it creates what? Unity.
Yes.
And when you have unity, then you can have unity of effort, then you'll have harmony.
Yes.
So when you have harmony, you'll have productivity.
Absolutely.
And so we can buy into these values. Another one, it's a yardstick. You got to inspect what you expect. So how can you tell you're doing well? And it's not just the money in your bank account or what your boss says at work or what your clients may tell you. Those are small measures. Or you look in the mirror. Am I measuring up as a man? Well, what's important for me to express my manhood? Well, what are your values? What do you stand for, man? What do you believe in? Who are you? Well, and you're not going to get this in school usually, or college. Usually it's going to come through a mentor or some type of personal development revelation, or maybe revelation spiritually. Yeah, where you're reading the word and you're like, gosh, I got to level up, man. If that's for me, who can be against me? If I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, why am I struggling so much, right? Absolutely. There's a lot that I got to look inward to figure those things out. Core values also serve as a magnet to draw the right people to you. I know there's a lot of talk about energies, and there's something to it. Energy and vibration, you go old school, man. Vibes, we vibing out, man. You will tend to attract who you are, not who you want. So, hey, listen, Tony, I'm filling the business. I need to bring on a couple partners. But the guys the people who we bring on, they always seem to be lacking here, lacking there, lacking integrity. I said, well, then why do they feel comfortable being with you?
Coach, could that? Why?
If we got cash, what's your cash? Service about to go ahead and Tide you some money. We're gonna do a love offering right now with it.
With that money, he can just drop. Now it's like driving and we had this spaghetti junction. I mean, there's so many turns you could take. But you mentioned that you attract who you are, not what you want.
Yeah, right.
So that could apply to relationships. It's like,
Oh, you want to go there?
go down.
Feet.
When I was open to look for a mate, I made a list. The weakest think is better than the strongest memory. I wrote stuff down, and you guys know, even in the ancient texts of God's word, there's a lot to be said about writing things down, right? Writing your vision down. And I wrote down 12, 13 things. Only one had to do with physical appearance. Everything else had to do with attitude, mindset, approach to life, spiritual belief system. And that was number one. And the evidence of her beliefs need to be in her life. You can't say, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and you live like you going to hell. You don't even have to tell me. All I have to do is be around you long enough to see, am I observing the fruit of the Spirit? Because if I'm observing the fruit of the Spirit, evident, not perfect, but I see love and kindness and gentleness, and I see self-control and long-suffering with patience, and I'm seeing those things play out over time, you don't have to tell me what you believe. I already see it because you live in it.
Yep.
So I wrote those things down, Larry, and I thought, this is a good list. Thank you, Lord. And then I was reminded of what I was taught. You don't attract who you are, you what? You don't attract what you want, you attract what? Who you are. I said, okay, all these things I done wrote down. I better be about it. And I said, you know what? That's absolutely right. And I looked at it. I defined each term for myself. And I said, I'm going to continue to work on doing those things. And lo and behold, a few months later, met my wife.
So you're right.
And here's the thing. Because the values were written down that I was looking for during our courtship, that's how I was evaluating whether this was going to be my mate or not. It wasn't just based on feelings and look. She's gorgeous, so she's smart. But it was based on compatibility because, right, you attract. Your values are a magnet. I wanted to see, am I attracting the right person, or am I just being bamboozled by a gorgeous person? And I'm ignoring the fact that we don't harmonize in our values, but I think I'm gonna change her. No, that don't work. You can't change anybody. If you think you are, you're getting fooled. In my opinion.
So, Coach, you didn't come and say, I am the table.
when we first started courting, because we did dating, courtship, engagement, and marriage. And maybe another time we can talk about it.
Yes.
But when we were courting, one of the things we did was a core value exercise. And I wanted to see what her values were, how she evaluated those. And we shared one or two that were similar, and hers were different than mine, but they totally complementary.
Yeah.
Her values undergirded mine, and mine undergirded hers. I'm like, okay, all right.
So you didn't say, we exactly the same. You wear blue shirt, I wear blue shirt. You wear pink shoes, I wear pink shoes. But they were complementary.
You want it? Well, I think marriage is about complementary. I want to marry somebody who's just like me. I'm marrying. No. Me first, I don't need to marry. I need the right woman,
Right.
who would complement me in the areas that I needed undergirding, and I will do the same for her. I just don't want to be good to her. I want to be good for her. But I don't know how I can serve her in that capacity unless I have an understanding of who she is as a person. A lot of people rush into that too quickly.
Yes.
Either pressured by parents or pressured by, the clock is ticking and all that. And I get it and I understand. But there's three. I had the pleasure of having lunch with Truett Cathy. Not personally. I was there with about 50 people.
Okay, I'm about to say, wow. Yeah.
But still, wow.
Yeah. We were invited as a business owner, and it's 50 people. Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A. And he said there's three main decisions that you're going to make in your life that will determine the trajectory of your life. Number one, who's your master?
Mm.
Who are you going to worship? Self? Good luck with that. Somebody in IG? Good luck with that. The God of the Bible? That was for me. Other people. But you got to choose who's your master, because from that flows what you're going to believe in. I don't get my values from somebody on Instagram. Many people do. And that's fine for them. Give it a year and see how it's working out for you. Who's your master? Number two, who's your mate? Measure twice and cut once. And as you select the right mate, it can propel your life tremendously. If it doesn't work out, then it can be a major distractor. It can be very hurtful and painful for everybody involved. So, three key decisions. Who's your master? Who's your mate? And the last one, what's your mission? What's your why? What's your purpose? And if you can map that out, then what you do, you can overlay that on top of what you do, and you're ready to roll.
Yes.
But if you don't know who is the sovereign of your life, then you are your own God. Good luck with that. I've been on the planet long enough. I tried it every different kind of way. If you have the right mate, it's phenomenal. If you don't, it's an opportunity for growth.
Yes.
Right? And if you don't know if you don't know what your mission is, then one of my mentors told me this. His name was Robert Covington. We call him Rocky. He says, you will either define your own dream and work towards it, or someone else will have you working in their business for them to achieve their dreams.
Wow.
And there's nothing wrong with working for companies and doing all of that. And if that you believe that's what your purpose is, fantastic. You got to provide for your family. There's honor in getting your degrees and certifications. It's awesome. But if you look at your values, say, but you know what? There's more in life for me than just that. That office that I have at the headquarters in Atlanta is wonderful. My double six-figure income is great, but doesn't define who I am. Because one thing I know about the job, it will go away one day. If it's a job, the position belongs to the company, not you.
Absolutely.
It'll go away. Either you'll quit, right? Right. Or they'll let you go. People don't even retire anymore, do they?
No, not really.
Yeah. And so you're saying, okay, it's good where I'm at right now, but my life is about more than that. Let me look at my values. What do I stand for? Okay, can I express it completely in my profession, or is there something else that I can add to it?
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
So that I can live a life of purpose. If you picture, I draw this out for my clients sometimes, a sketch on a whiteboard, a river. Downstream, DJ, all the way is your destiny, what you were put in the earth to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
God doesn't interfere with your free will, right?
Right.
But there is a plan for your life. You're engineered for success. We're designed for accomplishment. We have talents. We can develop an attitude. We have a skill set, a knowledge base. We have spiritual gifts. Picture that to be the water that's flowing. Powering that is our passion and our core values. Core values will determine how you use your talent, right? How you use your skill. Your passion. Some people think passion is like, oh, I just feel it so emotional. I'm in love. No, passion is what are you willing to suffer for? People say, I'm passionate about this. You want to die for it? You may just like it a lot.
Yes.
Passion is what are you willing to suffer for? Kobe Bryant was passionate. 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Jordan was passionate. Ronnie Lott, old school, had a finger amputated during the middle of the game. Passionate. These are extreme examples. People are passionate about their families. Women who go through childbirth, C-sections, natural birth. I'm willing to suffer to deliver this child. That's true passion.
Yes.
That's what will. Are you willing to suffer for your business? How do I suffer? How about investing money that you may not have in order to sow good seeds to reap down the line?
Absolutely.
How about coming home from work, taking care of your kids, and then burning the midnight oil to 2 or 3 in the morning, getting your certifications? How about getting mentorship and inconvenience yourself, getting out of the comfort zone? And so watch this. Downstream, this is the river going towards your destiny, your talents, your attitude, your skill, your knowledge, your spiritual gift, your core values, hold it all together, fueled by passion. But what gives all of that direction is your purpose. The purpose would be the banks. Because without purpose, all you have is the swamp. And nothing really flows in a direction unless it's bounded by purpose.
Mic drop. So, Coach Sean, with all that you just said, if someone is listening and they're wondering how can I get in touch with you for coaching, for executive coaching, for personal coaching, or to even however their purpose may be to connect with you,
Or as a guest speaker.
or against the
Sure. I don't. My business for the last 14 years has been all referrals. I don't advertise. It's completely been referral based. But you can reach me at mycoachtonyr@gmail.com. And I'll answer you personally, and we can go from there.
DJ.
Hey, Coach, it's been an honor to have you here on the set on the set today. Hopefully, we can get you back again with another special guest we want you to partner with, and hopefully, our schedules will allow y'all to be here at the same time. And I've learned so much, not just over the past decade and a half from you, but just today, you just unpacking some key things, and I've grown in this past 40, 50 minutes, and just thank you again for being here with us today.
Well, I want to thank you both for the opportunity. Yes, I don't take it lightly, and it was a real privilege to come here and share with you all. And prayerfully, collectively, we added value for the people who are watching.
Yes.
So they can take their lives to the next level.
Absolutely.
That riverbank analogy knocked it out the park. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend that your favorite podcast was on and it was value added today.
Yes.
And with that, thank you for joining us at Simply Converse. Peace out.
Peace.
Let's sip and converse.